The BRICS Business Council is looking for South Africa's best up-and-coming tech gurus. They will get a chance to represent South Africa in the BRICS Future Skills Challenge.
Well, this year's Future Skills Olympics will help solve energy, water and health problems in the BRICS countries. South Africa will host the event in Johannesburg in September. So to tell us more about it, we are joined by project lead of BRICS Future Skills, Joanne Brink, who's also the founder of online learning platform TechWays. Joanne, thank you so much for your time and a very good morning to you. Let's talk a little bit about the significance of this Future Skills Challenge, because I know it's been happening for a couple of years as well, and South Africa's had an opportunity to really, visit different kinds of BRICS countries in the hope of, upskilling themselves, so as it were. But how important is it to even have these kinds of competitions available for young people in the country?
Hi, thank you so much for hosting me. I am so excited for the BRICS Future Skills Challenge for young people. Too often we hear this catch-22 situation where young people, they can't get the experience because to get the experience, you need experience. And this is an opportunity to be able to work on real case studies that are that you're going to be using to solve problems. We have experts from across the BRICS nations that are supporting each of the different skill areas. So we've got some really exciting tech skills that young people can participate in, things like building a mobile app, renewable energy solutions, agricultural Internet of Things design, and the list goes on. I do encourage everyone to check out the website, bricsfutureskills.co.za, to see how to apply. We're looking to take 120 South Africans to Johannesburg in September, and there will be another 200 to 400 BRICS youth that will be joining. So imagine the opportunity to network with other youth and peers in your skill area, but also to learn from those the sort of top tech minds in the BRICS global region.
Joanne, I don't mean to be the guy that stinks up the room, right, with a bit of reality, but I think reality is something that we must always keep at the fore of our minds, considering the situations we find ourselves in as South Africans, where, especially in matters of energy and health, technology, when you look at the basic education level, when you look at primary and secondary education, we're not really producing, your maths, science and technology students. Our grades are, embarrassingly low. So how much confidence can we have in actually getting some of the best tech students, some of the best tech talent coming out of this very country, especially considering we're the ones hosting this event?
Marina, great question. And, I do get this a lot. And yes, we are not trying to sweep over the massive challenges we have in our basic education sector. However, last year at the BRICS Future Skills Challenge 2022, South Africa brought home 15 medals. And that was against India, I think, had 16 or 17. So we have talent in this country. The idea with the BRICS Future Skills Challenge is to be able to highlight some of that talent and also to profile these very rapidly transforming skills. And so if we can get more people, young people, excited about these areas and looking to these opportunities as career and job opportunities, then we can increase the pipeline. But I want to say that I don't expect that we will be embarrassed as a country. In fact, I think the opposite. I think we will do really well. We've got pockets of serious excellence in this country, and that's what we want to be able to showcase. And where we have gaps, that's also a valuable exercise, because when one of the sort of outcomes that we're looking for from this event is once we're able to then benchmark against the other BRICS nations, where China, where Russia is better at certain areas than we are, then we use that as a learning opportunity. And all of the countries, we see this as a learning opportunity. It's not a competition as such. Yes, there will be medals, and I do hope that South Africa wins as many as last year. But it's not about the medals. It's about the learning. It's about the networking. It's about the increased opportunities that we're creating amongst our countries.
Yeah. these kinds of opportunities translate into something tangible, Joanne, once there is some kind of government support as well. It's wonderful to see our young people participating in these kinds of future skills, but most of the time we hear about these events after the fact. And once we've heard about it after the fact, it's almost something happens within society and then we develop selective amnesia, almost to say. But this is a great indicator of the type of skills that are needed for the future, and I truly believe the future is now. So how then do we start pushing, advocating for more government support, government intervention, so that it's not just about the pocket of excellence, but that pocket of excellence can translate into the entire basic education formation?
You know, I think there are a few things that are happening with the BRICS Council, and especially in the working group that I sit in, which is the Future Skills group. And one of them is looking at partnerships across the BRICS nations, where we can create training hubs with a BRICS curriculum that is supported across the areas in these rapidly transforming skill areas, because we know that we need to get on top of these curriculums quickly. And, you know, we need to, and government is absolutely behind supporting these partnerships. So that's one example, Faith, of some of the things that are coming out of the BRICS Business Council.
Just before we let you go, Joanne, you know, what we've come to find, and I want to labor on the matter of government and their involvement and their, you know, their push to ensure that they essentially inherit the future skills that are going to be coming out of such initiatives to ensure that it benefits the country. But you tend to find that these kinds of initiatives, these kinds of programs, you know, we are upskilling South Africans who are then using those skills to go and essentially empower other countries. So are we also pushing for a drive to say that, listen guys, at a BRICS Future Skills Challenge such as this, you know, it's an opportunity for you to essentially change you know, the course of South Africa's future, where we are not talking load shedding, we are not talking a failing health system, we're not talking, you know, a poor education sector. Do we not have that fear that we could be empowering kids to actually just leave South Africa because, like, I'm not going to come and waste my skills here?
So there's always that risk, Marina, and the hope is that as we create more of a pipeline of youth in these skill areas, the opportunities, I mean, there's such a massive demand in South Africa for these skill areas specifically, because we do have a shortage. And yes, I mean, engineering companies are telling me all the time that, you know, they've got staff leaving, going to Europe, etc., and other more attractive regions to young people. But what I want to encourage, and we're seeing that amongst our young people, is that being able to participate in some of the solutions that we are wanting to create for our country. You know, this BRICS Future Skills Challenge, our theme is focusing on energy, water, and health. So most of the skill challenges are going to have opportunities for young people to come up with solutions that will address these areas using their specific skills. And I think more and more young people, the ones that I speak to that are, and I don't know if anyone mentioned the age to participate in this is 16 to 35. So it's a broad category of youth. And what we're seeing is that more and more young people are wanting to be part of the solution. And as we create more of this pipeline, profile some more of these great opportunities that are out there, I hope, but of course we can't guarantee, but I really do hope that more and more South Africans would want to stay and be part of that solution.
We definitely all hope so as well, Joanne, as you're saying that South Africa definitely does need those skills, and the retention of young people and their ability and their agility becomes so integral to this type of growth that we're seeking. But we'll leave it there for this morning. Much appreciated for your time, Joanne Brink. Of course, is with the BRICS Future Skills. Of course, do stay tuned and also pay to mind to the competition that is happening in September. It will be hosted here in Johannesburg.